Hey witches, it's Willow Moonlight, and today I would like to make a tea in honor of the Empress card. The Empress card is technically the third card in the major arcana, and when we get to the number 3, this is about something coming into fruition. The Empress is often depicted as a pregnant woman in most tarot decks that I have anyway. She is also depicted, of course, as a mother or becoming a mother. She is very nurturing, and she draws on the energy of Venus, which is about love, beauty, pleasure, relaxation. She is also in a very creative time. This card also represents fertility. And with that comes abundance and harmony and awareness. She can also sometimes be a very devouring or absent mother, which is another aspect of this card. Can also represent vanity. As I said, Venus represents beauty, and sometimes when that becomes out of balance, it can be someone who's particularly vain. It can also represent a person who is self-indulgent, or somebody who may also reject traditional rules and values, or at times may accept them. She can be fickle and maybe isn't always in tune with her own body. Could be someone who's disempowered or is experiencing an empty nest. Sometimes the Empress may feel useless if she's not serving others. May also have some frustration as well, and may also represent an internalization of motherhood and self-nurturance. So there's a lot of things about, a lot of aspects to this card. But for me, definitely, when I think of the Empress, I think of this very outward energy, even though she's very gentle and inward with the energy of Venus. I just think of this is her time to shine. And I really like this card, so I wanted to make a tea inspired by her energies. The ingredients that I chose for this recipe are roses, lemon, and honey. Roses are very complex, and I think there's so many aspects to roses to consider, and even though I have cross-referenced roses in a few different books and they all seem to point towards the feminine energy, the planet Venus, and the moon and yin energy, I also like to think that roses can, also be drawing on the elements of earth and fire. I think it can draw on all elements, actually. I definitely feel the fieriness in the roses because it's it's very active. And when I think of the Empress, to me, it's a very active card, even though we're talking about yin energy, softer energies, and the feminine. I think it's just very push forward. I mean, just think about it. If she's pregnant in the card, it takes a lot of a person's energy and drive and determination to move forward. And even in one of my correspondence books, it says that the Empress corresponds with roses. So to me, that made a lot of sense. Some sources will say that the energy draws on the sun, while others say it'll draw on the moon. I think it can draw on both, but I definitely see the sun in most aspects that I have worked with roses. However, it's a very complex type of flower, and I think people could just write books on roses and their energy. It represents affection and attachments, clairvoyance, compassion, creativity, dedication, family, fertility, fidelity, harmony, sort of nurturing type energy. It's very patient. and requires strength, trust, and wisdom. I often like to think of the goddess Demeter in this context, because if you know anything about the story of Persephone, Demeter would be her mom, of course, and just had that quintessential mother energy to her. And know that roses are also very protective because they usually have thorns. So many different aspects of mother can come out in roses. And I've also, at this recipe, paired with lemons, and I've talked about lemons in my other video before, but just a little recap. Lemons have the solar energy of the moon, the polar energy of the feminine or yin, and the element of water. There's a lot of cleansing vibes there. Lemons can help strengthen fidelity and love. It's often used in moon magic or any kind of lunar celebrations for that matter. And according to Scott Cunningham, when mixed with sugar, you can maximize results and bring in a lot of those happiness vibrations. So the rose and the lemon together, I thought, were just absolutely perfect. And of course, I wanted to sweeten it with a little bit of honey. And I've talked about this in my other video about the complexities of this correspondences with honey and how it seems to be a little bit of air and a little bit of earth. I like to think of honey currently as being an air element. It's also, you know, that golden like the sun type quality. It lifts everything up, sweetens everything up. I know that it is kind of heavy, like just to see it drip down, but to me it's still very much this air and sun sort of energy, maybe a little bit of earth in there, but so far, like I said, I see it's more as air. So I thought this would be a great combination to have together. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you decide to give this a try, let me know and tell me what you think. Bye.